Hello everyone and welcome back to MultiversalMusings. Today we are diving headfirst into my all-time favorite character in all of fiction, Batman. Out of all the comics I've read, 75% are from DC and 96 of those issues feature Batman. He is by far my most read, my most beloved character, and honestly, aside from Green Lantern, he is the one I keep coming back to the most. So a friend of mine recently asked me for some recommendations to get into DC, and after I gave him my answer, I figured that it would probably make for a really good video and a really good guide for any newcomers, not just him, or anyone wanting to really understand Batman and Bruce Wayne. So here are 3 comics I recommended to him that I would start with for any newcomer. And I promise none of these are going to be your usual Year 1 or Dark Knight Returns. They are fantastic, but I do think they are probably overexposed, which makes it easy to buy, so I understand that. But I wanted to show you guys something a bit different and a bit more unique. So let's go. But first of all, let's get into some quick advice before we start, because I want to make this video as beginner friendly as possible, because I honestly kind of just jumped into comics kind of blind and got lost more than a few times. So you'll hear me say one shot and run in this video quite a lot. So here's some quick definitions. So a one shot is a standalone comic. It is perfect for you newcomers. You read it and the story is complete. And a run is multiple issues forming a longer story arc. Sometimes a run spans over other comics, so you might have to find, separate issues, which can be annoying as hell, especially if you're reading older comics, but man, is it worth it. I've been slowly whittling through Blackest Night, and it's so tough keeping up, but my god, is it awesome. So in this video, I'm recommending 2 one-shots and 1 run. This is going to save you newcomers time while still giving you the full Batman experience. But just a little pro tip, start with one-shots if you're unsure, because they're quick, they're self-contained, and you get a taste of the character you're reading without committing to dozens of issues. Anyway, with that all out of the way, let's get started. First up is Batman Ego, which is a brilliant one-shot. There's no long reading commitment, but it is still emotionally huge. I read this one after I heard that Matt Reeves drew inspiration from it for The Batman, which is now my all-time favorite Batman film ever. But what makes Ego so special is how deeply it explores Bruce's psyche. It is not about the villains or big action moments, it is about the war inside Bruce himself. It's his anger, his guilt, his humanity, and his need to forgive himself. The duality of Batman and Bruce has always fascinated me and has drawn me to the character, and this comic captures that struggle perfectly. It's introspective, it's stylish, and it's incredibly emotional as well. So if you want something to understand the man beneath the cowl, I think you should start here. Number 2, Detective Comics 1040. So this is a newer one that I felt was a really hidden gem, and I absolutely adored it. It is a really simple but tender story. There's nothing flashy, there's nothing groundbreaking, but it really hit me, and I think it's a great showcase of Batman. So there's 2 separate stories in this one. The first one, Bruce is in jail. There is a drunk prisoner in the same cell who thinks he knows Batman, and he even calls out Bruce's name. But the next morning, he wakes up and has no memory of that conversation whatsoever. And I just really liked how human that was. And the Batman side of the comic really shows his humanity. And this is going to be a spoiler for anyone watching this. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Man-Bat in this dies. And the way that Batman almost cradles Langstrom in his final moments, despite all the pain and suffering he's caused, he doesn't judge him. He just comforts him. And that to me is Batman at his purest. He's a presence of protection and compassion. And it's a comic where nothing really happens, but the moments in between are just so tender and beautiful. It's small, it's simple, but these little character moments really have stuck with me since I've read them. And this comic captures exactly why Batman is more than just a brooding vigilante, and it shows his human side, which I love. Now, before we get into my final pick, I want to do an honourable mention, which is the Batman Chronicles number 19, which features a Year 1 story by Stephen Englehart, and it features a storyline in which Bruce struggles to balance his 2 lives in the days immediately following his transformation into becoming Batman. And he forfeits this opportunity at love to stop a crime wave in Gotham. And I personally loved the ending of this comic where Bruce phones this girl to kind of break things off of her, and he says there is someone else. And I loved that because the person who is someone else is not another girl, it's Batman. I just felt that was so poignant. I loved that. But anyway, number 3, Batman, The Court of the Owls. Oh man, this comic is just fantastic. And this was the first Batman run in the New 52. And if you've been around the internet for a while, you probably know the New 52 has not got the best reputation. And I cannot believe how good this run is. They come out guns blazing. This is the first Batman run in New 52, and they just come out guns blazing. This is fantastic. And the good thing you will get with the New 52 runs is that you have stories that you new readers can pick up without feeling like you need decades of lore to understand what's going on. And from the first page of this one, you are drawn into Gotham's shadowy underworld. And this story combines tension, horror, and classic detective work. And unlike Ego's introspection or 1040's tenderness, The Court of the Owls is where modern Batman shines for me. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo nail the atmosphere here. It's dark, it's cinematic, it's terrifying, but it's still deeply character driven. And you see Bruce facing a challenge that's bigger than him just punching bad guys. He's facing a legacy of Gotham itself. And it's incredible to watch him navigate it. And for anyone trying to understand Batman, his intelligence, his fearlessness, his connection to Gotham, you cannot skip this one. It is hands down one of the best modern Batman starting points for new readers. So there you have it. Ego, Detective Comics 1040, and The Court of the Owls. 3 separate comics that together show Batman's psyche, his humanity, and his detective-driven heroism. So if you're new to Batman and you want to understand him in a new, fresh way, these are my top picks. But what about you? Which Batman comic shaped you as a reader? Drop your favorites in the comments below and we'll nerd out together. Until next time, live long and prosper.